Ceiling work is one of the most misunderstood parts of home construction because most homeowners focus on design aesthetics without understanding how every decision affects labor productivity, material quantity, installation complexity, and finishing requirements. What looks like a simple ceiling on paper can easily become one of the most expensive elements of your interior if the design is not planned correctly. Today, we will talk about the top 5 ceiling design mistakes that significantly increase your construction cost based on real 2025 pricing and practical site experience. Ceiling construction is not just about attaching boards and applying paint. It involves a complete system that includes metal furring, carrying channels, angled bars, suspension hangers, joint treatment materials, electrical wiring provisions, lighting supports, and finishing layers. Every choice you make affects how much time your workers will spend on installation and how many materials they will consume. This is why many homeowners end up spending 20,000 to 60,000 pesos more than their expected ceiling budget. One of the most common mistakes is designing oversized ceiling drops that look beautiful but require significantly more framing and board coverage. Each drop level adds extra metal furring, additional gypsum boards, more screws, and a longer installation timeline. A simple 10 square meter room with a double drop ceiling can consume almost twice the framing materials of a plain ceiling. What homeowners think is just a minor design touch often becomes an additional 12,000 to 18,000 pesos in materials and labor. To put this into perspective, a plain ceiling typically requires 1 layer of boards and standard framing. A double drop ceiling, however, requires 3 layers of framing, 1 for the main ceiling, 1 for the drop perimeter, and another for the inner recessed portion. This increases both carpentry and finishing time. A team that normally completes a standard ceiling in 2 days may need 4 days when drop levels are added. This doubling of labor time directly translates to additional expense. Cove lighting has become a trend in modern Filipino homes, but installing it everywhere is extremely costly because it requires precision in framing, additional electrical wiring routes, LED strip channels, and extended joint finishing. Cove lighting must be perfectly symmetrical, and any flaw becomes visible once the LED strip lights are turned on. For this reason, carpenters and electricians spend more time adjusting alignments. Just adding cove lighting to a single bedroom can add 15,000 to 25,000 pesos depending on the width, height, and design consistency. dpwh productivity rates for carpentry and ceiling installation assume simple, flat ceilings with minimal complexity. When you introduce cove lights or multiple drops, the effective productivity rate is cut almost in half because workers spend more time making precise cuts, aligning boards, and reinforcing weak points. This means you are effectively doubling your labor cost even if the room size stays the same. This is a hidden cost that most homeowners do not see in the beginning stages of construction. Another costly mistake is selecting fiber cement board for interior ceilings instead of gypsum board. Fiber cement board is designed for wet areas or exterior ceilings, not indoor dry spaces. It is heavier, harder to cut, and more difficult to finish. Because of its weight, the metal framing must be stronger and spaced closer, increasing both material volume and labor time. A ceiling that requires 3 days to complete using gypsum may require 5 to 6 days using fiber cement board, creating an unnecessary increase in overall project cost. Joint treatment is one of the most critical aspects of ceiling construction. Poor spacing, improper backing, substandard tape, or incorrect thickness of joint compound often lead to cracks within a year. Repairing these cracks requires sanding, reapplying compound, and repainting, which can cost several thousand pesos per repair cycle. Homeowners spend more on maintenance in the long run because the initial installation did not follow recommended procedures. Lowering the ceiling height too much reduces natural airflow and lighting quality, but more importantly, it forces electricians, carpenters, and painters to work in confined spaces. This slows down productivity, increases heat and dust exposure, and results in workers taking more breaks. The net effect is slower progress and higher labor cost. In some cases, poor ceiling height selection also requires additional ventilation or lighting adjustments, further adding to your project expenses. When these mistakes happen together, oversized drops, excessive cove lighting, incorrect board choice, poor joint treatment, and unnecessary height reduction, they can increase the total ceiling cost by 25,000 to 60,000 pesos or more depending on the overall area. These increases often appear in variation orders or unexpected material requests, surprising homeowners who believed their original ceiling design was simple and affordable. To avoid unnecessary cost increases, choose a simple but well-planned ceiling layout using gypsum board for standard areas. Avoid excessive drop levels, limit cove lighting to key spaces such as the living room. Follow proper joint treatment procedures and maintain a functional ceiling height. A clean, flat ceiling with strategic lighting can be both aesthetically pleasing and economically efficient, saving you labor, materials, and long-term maintenance. If you want your ceiling layout reviewed for cost efficiency, or if you need assistance checking your construction plans for hidden cost-increasing details, you can request a professional evaluation through our website at www.vjsconsultancy.com. Follow SmartPinoy Homes for more engineering-based breakdowns that help you avoid costly mistakes in every part of your home.